I'm Steve. Mark's around. Say hi, Mark.
Hey, everybody.
And this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark. Welcome or welcome back, and happy, happy, happy day indeed. It's always a good day when it's Steve will try it, right? So I've been off on hiatus from this segment for a few weeks at least, and we got a product, and I'm very excited, and I just wanted to show it off and test it and then share with y'all how it went. So, what is the product? It is the Dash Express Griddle. Okay. So Dash is probably not new to a lot of people. Either you watch What I Ate Today's, or if you keep up on little gadgets and products like I do. The first big popular Dash item that showed up in a lot of the channels I watch was that little mini waffle maker. It just made one waffle, and it was like 10 bucks, I think. And then everyone was making chaffles because everyone was keto all of a sudden. So there was a lot of people, using them. This was from a viewer, a very thoughtful gift, and it's just up my alley, actually, for the type of product I usually like. 8 inches across, 2 non-stick surfaces, opens up, boop, like that. It doesn't all the way unfold, it just open and close. It usually advises you use just a little bit of non-stick, just to be sure, even though it does have the non-stick coating. It heats up on its own. There is no on or off button on it. There is no timer on it. So you'll see as I'm going through preparing some stuff, I'll be using the microwave timer because there's none on it. Use your phone, use Alexa, use somebody. And there's only one heat setting, hot or off. So it's pretty simple to use with those kind of rigid frameworks. I'm wondering how much stuff you can make to eat, but we are going to be making breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert.
He said breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And dessert! So, I do have a handy-dandy cameraman in tow, so we'll have someone documenting this for us. And I'm just going to follow the directions as it says. The cook times, we're going to play it by ear, and then afterwards I can probably give you a better idea of how long it took. So, without much further ado, let's get cooking. Well, welcome. Let's start at the very beginning and have some breakfast. So, this is our Dash skillet, 8 inches. There is no on-off button or temperature settings. So, I've had this preheating, the light is on, and when it goes off, it's ready to go. So, let's have a nice keto-friendly breakfast, shall we? So here I have some bacon. This I just pulled out of the freezer. It's 2 or 3 slices, kind of chopped up. And then a couple of eggs. So, you're supposed to use, I'm putting bacon in here, but it says to use non-stick on the surface and on the top. So, and it's gonna do things. And I'm just gonna lay our bacon in. It should sizzle. There's a sizzle. So we're gonna go for a modest breakfast of bacon and eggs. Put that. I'm gonna cover it. And I'll give it a look in about 2 minutes. So, I'll be right back. Perfect. Okay, let's see how we did with some eggs. Okay, not bad. This was 2 eggs. Didn't add anything to it, just eggs. Want to make it feel fancy. There's an omelet. And, pardon my fingers, but I'm the one eating this. We have some bacon. And a little piece of basil for a garnish. You can throw some cheese on or something too if you like, but there's 2 eggs and bacon. Round 1. Alright, I'm hungry again, so how about some lunch? So for lunch, we're gonna go pretty easy. We're gonna make just like a grilled ham and cheese sandwich. So, same as before, I cleaned the grill. I had to wipe it out a little bit after the last because we had some bacon in it, but it came out just fine. There's only one temperature setting and no on-off switch or timer, just so you know with the Dash. So I'm timing mine with the microwave as I've been going. So we're just gonna keep it breezy. I'm gonna use the non-stick spray it says to use. I'm not gonna put butter or mayonnaise. People put mayonnaise on grilled cheese, but
What?
we love them anyway. So we're just gonna go with the nonstick and just try to toast it up. So we got one piece of bread, and Mark tends to have cheese around a lot. We came into a lot of cheese recently, so we have some to spread out. And just a couple of pieces of plain old ham, just belly ham. And put that on top, pull it down, and I don't know. We're gonna give it a few minutes. I'll let you know the exact amount when it's done, okay? All right, let's see what we got. It's been a couple minutes. It looks toasty. What does the other side look like? Not bad. The cheese needs a little more time to melt. I'm gonna give it another couple minutes. If it gets dark, it gets dark, but melty cheese must happen for a grilled cheese sandwich. So we'll be back. Okay, let's see. It's been 3 minutes. It's still toasty. We haven't hit burnt yet. That's kissing burnt, but that's not burnt. So we're gonna take it out. Leave it over here. I did flip it, but you know what? It was tall enough to brown on both sides. So we'll give it a little good chunk. And earlier than expected, the cheese got melty, the ham is hot. Good stuff. So, there you have it. Lunch grilled ham and cheese sandwich with a clementine garnish. And on to dinner. So dinner, we're gonna take it even easier if it's possible. I've seen that you can use these kind of machines in this style to make pizza, and I know how to make homemade pizza crust. Kathy Mitchell has a great recipe. But we're gonna try something different. We're gonna use a prepared frozen pizza to see if you can just yank something out of the freezer and make it happen. So these are little deep dish by Red Baron. They're very cute. They come with a crisping disc if you wanted to put it in the microwave. This is the kind of stuff that they used to sell in rolls to make stuff brown. So we've got our dash heated up, lights off, and we're just gonna, we'll give it a little spray. The cheese might stick. The crust probably won't. All right, and close her up. And this is a total experiment, so we're gonna give it 5 minutes, and then I'll come back with what the total time was after that. We'll see it after 5 though, okay? All right, let's see. Now I did 5 minutes and I checked it and it wasn't close. And it's been another 5.5 or 6 minutes, so it's been about 11 total. Looks like a little pizza. Let's see. It's not burnt on the bottom. So we got a little crispiness there. A little crispiness. It looks like in the middle the cheese is melted. It's hot! I can tell you it's hot! Alright, so leave it in longer if you like a crispier crust. You know, if you want your cheese darker, leave it in a little longer. This is good for me. And this was supposed to be $3.75 for 26 minutes, and we did it in here in about 10 or 11. So there's that savings. When it's not so blisteringly hot, I'll take a bite. But for now, let's get into some dessert. Who wants funfetti cake? Okay, y'all know this is my favorite cake. I eat a lot of it. What I wanted to do was test out baking a cake in the dash. So I don't want to make a whole cake mix. It's not going to all fit in there. So what you can do, this is a Kathy Mitchell trick that I learned from her at least. Most cake mixes have about 3 cups of powder in them, and it calls for a cup of water and 3 eggs. So we're going to do a third of a normal cake mix. So I have a 1 cup of the powder, 1 egg, remember it called for 3, and a third of a cup of water. Oil is your choice. The cake mix calls for a half a cup of oil for the whole thing. You could put 2 or 3 tablespoons in if you want, but we're just making this little bit, and I think it'll stay pretty moist, so we're gonna leave the oil out. I'm just gonna beat this up for a couple of minutes, and then we'll be ready to bake.
Oh, that's a cute kitty. Yeah.
Oh, well, hello there. All right, so on to baking. We're all whisked up with our third of a mix. And I'm just gonna pour the whole thing in. Just like that. Nothing fancy. Alright, and we're spread it out. This goes to the edges. We sprayed our non-stick. This is gonna probably be more like a torte for how thin it is, but we'll see. We're gonna go easy on this. Other machines that are similar, it's only, I don't know, like 5 minutes, so we shall see. All right, let's see how we did. It smells like cake in here. It looks like cake in here. Now this was 5 minutes. I maybe could have done 4 even. Let's see, how do we look? The bottom's brown, not burnt. Top's a little bit golden. Ta-da! Funfetti cake. Okay, so for a little bonus, how about a little tip on how to make some frosting for our little cake? So, this is easy peasy and it's very tasty. What I have here is 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, 10x sugar, what have you. And I have about 1/3 of a cup of melted ice cream. The fattier the better, don't use the light stuff. And I'm just gonna put that in. We're gonna use about half of it at first. And we're gonna make sort of a drizzle glaze frosting-y thing. So I'll start with that and add more as we need. I'm using one of these because it doesn't hurt your wrist like a whip does. So we'll get in here with this, and then we'll catch up with you to show you the final result. Alrighty, so that's frosting. Should I test it to make sure it's okay? I think I should, right? So it should taste like chocolate ice cream. It tastes like chocolate ice cream. It's very, very good. All right. Now for plating purposes, I've been letting the cake cool. I want you to see this. It's one little round flat cake. Now, if you wanted to make like a 3-layer cake, I guess you could make 3 of them back to back, and it would still be faster in here than doing that. But I came in with an idea. Well, at least I think I did. We're going to cut the cake like this. So we go halfway through, and then we go that way. And now we're gonna have a very nicely decorated tier cake. Oh, frosting. All right. Again, this is very, very folksy. So there's our next layer, like that. We'll take some more frosting and put it on top of that. Make sure you let your cake cool enough so it doesn't get too wobbly. And then one last one. And whoever the lucky one is who gets to eat this gets the rest of this frosting. So I would say it holds together. I might bring in a pastry chef to make it a little more pretty, but I gotta tell you, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this. Oh, it's settling in, so it's getting gushy and drizzly.
A few moments later.
Okay, here we go. You can turn it into a 3-tiered cake. How about that? And I did have a little help from a chef to kind of get it more stable because I wanted it to be somewhere between a drizzle and a frosting, and it turned out both. So, that's cake. So we've done breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert, all in the Dash Express griddle. So why don't we go back onto the couch and I'll share with you some of my final thoughts after using the product. Okay?
Hey guys, hey, it's Mark here, invading Steve will try it one more time. So, I know y'all been worried, I know y'all been concerned, I have too, but we can all rest easy tonight because Tia Sophia survived the move. Yes, she did, and I didn't lose her this time either. How about that? So I set her back up, I reseated her, and we're gonna watch her do her thing over the next couple of weeks. Yes, we are! Don't you just love a chia head?
Chia.
little spread here. So, just to review, for breakfast, we did bacon and eggs. For lunch, we did a grilled ham and cheese sandwich. For dinner, we did a small frozen pizza. And, of course, the cake that we had for dessert. The little flat cake that we stacked up as best as possible with that chocolate ice cream icing. So, my impressions. Well, everything that they said about it, it was a very honest disclosure on the box. It basically said, look, it's a griddle. And no bells and whistles. And a lot of the Dash products are actually like that. As far as usability, it heats up very quick, which it said it would. There's only one indicator on it. The light's on, and then when the light goes off, you start with it. I didn't find myself getting burned on it or anything. There's hot notices all over the top, because it does get warm. It's not cool to the touch, but it's not so severe that it would leave redness or anything. At least wasn't on my hands. So that part was okay to do. The nonstick was great, but I was also using nonstick spray at the suggestion of some other reviewers and also the Dash folks themselves. So of the 4 things we made, I think the one that probably looks the tastiest to me is the breakfast, just because it folded over cute. The times on these were very, very, very short. We'll go back to breakfast. The bacon took about 3 minutes, then I took it out and put the eggs in, and they took about 2.5. So it was about a 5 or 6 minute breakfast. Lunch, however long it takes to assemble a sandwich, and I just used, I didn't put butter or mayo or anything on it, I just used the nonstick spray, and it came out nice and toasty. So there's that. Frozen pizza is frozen pizza. If you make your own and you make your own dough or your own crust or anything, then you might have a little something more. But these were, they came out brown on the edge. They're there, and they were okay to eat. The cake. Now, of course, the cake was too hot when I started frosting it. But the only trick I'd give you on the cake, I gave you the 3rd recipe. You will notice, if you're like me, a difference between a cake that has oil or fat in it and one that doesn't. So this is soft and fluffy and a tiny bit chewy. But if you want something more like a traditional cake, throw in a couple tablespoons of oil, 2 to 3, and that should give you more of that kind of feel for it. So I don't know which one to eat first. This is more than I would normally eat during a day. But it took us a very short time to do. 5 minutes for bacon and eggs, 5 minutes for a grilled sandwich. It was 10 for the frozen pizza. This was 10 start to finish. And the cake took 4.5, and the frosting, you guys saw me make it, was quick. So I approve of the Dash 8-inch skillet. I wasn't a big fan of the smaller Dash grills. I just thought, what am I going to use it for? I mean, I would always eat more than one waffle anyway, and I can only make them one at a time. So this bigger one is much better for me. I like it much, much better. The cake is calling my name, and so I think I'm gonna go curl up with my Dash, which I am giving 2 solid thumbs up. Easy to use, quick, no hard cleanup, can be used for a multitude of things, can heat up frozen products, can make a nice little grilled cheese. I'm good. So I approve, which means you guys may be seeing it again in any upcoming videos. So, thank you all for joining us tonight, and thank you for sitting in for another Steve Will Try It. Steve approves. We'll see what the next product is that comes up. If you have any specifically you're interested in, feel free to leave it below. I know there's other people out there with a weird fascination with infomercial products like me. I always try to keep my eyes open for what's new, so if anything comes by your way, drop it in the comments, and I'll keep an eye out and send, you know, maybe we can try it then. Alright, thank y'all for being here. Please do subscribe. Notification alerts, we get new videos when we go live. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Our contact info is all below as well. Thank you again, and we will catch up with you soon. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye. Say goodbye, Mark. Bye. Grilled cheese sandwich.